Good morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. Welcome to my channel. Hope everybody had a good weekend. So, what's going on in the markets? Yes, on Friday we kind of just held lower prices, which is bearish for the meantime. But where do we hold them? The prior week's lows. So the market kind of did what it's kind of supposed to do, pulled back to a key level. Okay, now the market has dropped value lower, which is bearish. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that I expect the market to fall out of bed. That's just structure. Okay, structurally, it's once the market accepts the lower prices, that's a little more bearish. Okay, so that's what's going on. Um, this week, you got core PCE coming up on Friday. Um, after today, I'm gonna be on vacation, so I'll be out of this market for the rest of the week. So I wish everybody good luck. Um, Going on a little vacation, so to Colorado. I've never been there before, so I'm very excited to go there with my wife, without our child. So that hasn't happened in a long time, so I'm excited for that. So why don't we get into and welcome everybody to my channel? Okay, my name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the market, along with gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, anchor VWAPs, the most traded price of the year, the most traded price of the month, the most traded price of the week, and the most traded price of the preceding day. All helps me with my foundation, the way I read the market. Then that enables me to come up with scenarios, come up with plans. Now the plans and the scenarios I do around 8:30 a.m. every day. All right, I do it in the ES first, then I do the Nasdaq. Every day I come in, we talk about news, talk about leaders and laggards, what's moving the market, upgrades, downgrades, possible, obviously, economic calendar, and that's where you come here, one-stop shop, right? One-stop shop. Hopefully, some people, you know, uh, can see the power of market profile, volume profile. I understand when you look at it, just like I did it the first time. It's not easy on the eyes. You don't know what you're looking at. You're not looking at candlesticks, but it shows you a lot more information than candlesticks do. All right, that's why I love it. All right, hopefully you'll grow to love it as well. But without further ado, please, if you're first time, subscribe, set an alert. Like I said, I'll be out the rest of the week, but usually every day I'm doing this. So, and if you can, show me some love. All right, show me some love. Give me a like or a thumbs up if you enjoy this content. All right, and you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. I have to add, I do have Instagram, TikTok. Um, I do have Facebook. I'm contemplating how I'm going to share that, but I will add those as well. All right. So let's get into this. All right. Let me just get right into those charts. Let's see what's going on in futures. Watch us land. Good morning, Chief. Here we go. Now we got an elevated VIX. We got an elevated VIX, folks, up 4.62%, creeping to 14. Right? Can we get more fear in this market? Maybe. Gold's up 0.31, crude up 0.24, the Dow's up 0.22, Russell's up 0.22, silver's up 0.10. 10-year yield hasn't reported yet. ES flat, Nasdaq's down 0.21, dollar's down 0.22. 30-year bonds being sold. That should drive yields a little higher. Bitcoin, woo! Bitcoin's down 4.48%. Ether's down 5.79%. Bitcoin's fallen, but it's at a key level of support. We'll see if it holds or not. All right, moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Let's do it. All right, and Tesla. Tesla is leading the pack, up 0.46. Meta up 0.28. JP Morgan up 0.25. And then let's go into the laggards here. AMD just can't get out of its own way. People are just selling into that thing. Down 0.78%. Boeing down 0.97%. They had some bad news. All right. Nvidia was the most valuable company in the world, but then Microsoft took that back over. That is down 2.16%. It went up to 140. All right. And I did a short video on the weekend on Thursday why I shorted SPY. A lot of it had to do with Nvidia hitting that call at 140. Okay, since it hit 140, it is down right now at 123. This was kind of bound to happen with a stock split. People get excited, and then guess what happens? They know people buy that up to then just rain down on them with shorts, right? Kind of inevitable. And what I did heard, because Kathy Wood's been getting slammed in the press about like she's ARK is horrible. She just bought Nvidia at the top when it was at the top. So who knows? Maybe there's an inverse Kathy Woods ETF. I believe there is an ARK inverse. So Coinbase is in sympathy. Obviously, Bitcoin down 3.26%. All right, let's move on to top sector stocks. Eli Lilly came out with some news that their new drug helps with sleep apnea in their weight loss drug. All right, so that's up 0.81. And we got Exxon and Chevron's up. United Healthcare is finally getting a little of it's kind of hitting that 480 support level. Let's see. UPS just sold a company that they had, so they're up a little bit. Let's move on to the laggard. Big lagger is just basically semis are pulling back. Okay, Qualcomm's down 0.142%. Let's go to the swing trade list. Who's leading the pack here? Donald Trump stock up 6.22%, followed by Affirm. Interesting, Affirm up 3.45, followed by Micron. Micron got an upgrade, up 1.87%. Carnival Cruise Lines up 1.43. Bitcoin, that's not the Bitcoin ETF, that's a biotech, is up 1.32. IBM's up 1.26. Carnival Cruise Lines has said that. Block, Shopify, those are the leaders today. Who's lagging the pack? Who's lagging that pack here? Yeah, Bitcoin ETF. No surprise there. It was all Bitcoin related. MicroStrategies, Mara, GameStop is the meme stock. Riot, ARM, the semi, Supermicro Computers down 1.8. Taiwan Semiconductors. Celsius got just price target lowered. I guess Celsius getting hammered. Palantir down 1%. Those are the losers. All right, let's go back to these top sector stocks. Let's move on to sectors. What do we got going here? These are what move the markets, folks. All right. So, who's leading the pack? We got energy. We got financials. We got healthcare. Notice a trend here. Okay. Those are all weak. They kind of pushed up a little bit during the week, last week, rotated, and then pulled back a little bit on Friday. Discretionary with Tesla. Utilities. Utilities had a nice pullback. Maybe that's getting buyable now. Laggards, communications, okay. Semis, technology is the loser, all right. Now, if you again watch my short that I made on over the weekend, XLK is about 31% of the S&P 500. Wherever the tech goes, the market will go. It has too much weight in the market, okay. What's that? Whatever that is doing, XLK is probably what the market's going to be doing. All right, so very important to watch that sector. Okay, very important. Now let's go over to the economic calendar. Okay, let's get over to the economic calendar. Boom. Let's look at it. Let's see what we got going here. What do we have this week? We had today. Fed Waller spoke already. You got Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index at 10:30. Fed Daily speaks at 2 p.m. During the week, we have more Fed speak. Okay, more Fed speak. And then we basically have Thursday GDP and initial jobless claims, pending home sales, and Friday's the big one, core PCE and Michigan consumer sentiment. I'm not going to be around for any of that, but that's what will move markets. That's what will move markets. Let's go to some news, current news. Apple Stock rose despite a European Commission saying Monday the iPhone maker's App Store rules breach EU tech rules. Let's see here. Broadcom, that's going to have a stock split. Nvidia, we already know about. UPS, I said, remember it selling its Coyote Logistics business unit to RXO. That's why that's up a little bit. Eli Lilly, like I said, stock rose 1% after the drug maker said that its weight loss drug Zepbound resolves sleep apnea. Donald Trump stock, with the former president's media company rebounding after a week-long sell-off. That's really all I want to talk about there. Let's go here. Apple charger breaching EU, talked about that. Here's the thing with Boeing. U.S. prosecutors recommend DOJ criminally charge Boeing as deadline looms. Boeing's just not in a good space right now. Okay, not in a good space. Even though Nvidia's launched in the Middle East, that stock just needs to just take a break a little bit. Yeah, there's the Micron. Here's the Micron. Citigroup raises target from 175 from 1 to 175 from 150. Apple got their target raised from 260 to 260 from 227. Okay, and let's just get to updates, downgrades real quick. Let's refresh this. I'm gonna get an ad here probably. Oh no, I didn't. All right. Let's see here. Upgrades. Anything to note? Anheuser-Busch, Siri. All right. Let's go downgrades. It's not a lot of downgrades in this list. Let's go initiate coverage. There's a bunch here. Ally Financial out of buy. Celsius. Interesting. Out of outperform. Okay. Colgate outperform. Let's see here. Just like I said, I'm going to go over Humana equal weight. IBM a buy. Coca-Cola outperform. Monster Beverage, that's been really getting hammered. That's an underperform. PepsiCo, Pep neutral. Procter & Gamble outperform. All right. Then let's just go into the lower target, raise target. Let's raise targets here. Micron got a raise target, like I said, to 172. Royal Caribbean got a target raise. All right, let's see lower target. Lower targets. Nothing to really note there. Okay, I think we're done with that. And juice, I don't think the juice had much for us today. I saw Mester speaking, and nothing really shocking. Okay, nothing really shocking there. I think we can go over to the daily charts now. And then we'll look at the triple-headed monster. Let's move over to those daily charts. Boom. Let's do it. Okay. So, after making all-time highs on Thursday, kind of had a little doji candle here. Now look what it touched. Let's get in, zoom in here a little bit. 9 EMA daily right there. Said hello to it. Hasn't touched it since June 11th. So boop, touched it. Guess what though? Closed right above that orange line is the previous week's highs. Okay. So very important. People look at that, right? That's why it closed right there. So that could be support. Who knows? Let's look at where we are now. What are we at now? 545 basically. So let's see here. 545. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, we're like a little above the close. So, all right, let's go futures. Get a little closer look here. This is what I meant, folks, by we're holding low prices. So look, boop, came down here, lower, and we're holding lower prices. So that's structurally bearish. But I just say that because it's true. Doesn't mean I think it's going to fall out of bed. Okay. Qs. Here's that little wedge. We're in between right here. Boop, boop, boop. All right, what did it do? Held the previous week's highs. I think I might have mistaken now that I'm saying that, because I think I put on my card for YouTube lows. I meant highs. I probably made a mistake there, but that's what I meant. Previous week highs. All right, so look, all-time high, moved down, accepting lower prices. Where are we now? 470, 479.26, 479.26, 479.26. Yeah, we're at the lows of Friday. Okay, so let's look at futures. Boom. So look, this is what I'm talking about. Accepting lower prices. 9 EMA daily. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do here. We'll get all into that in a second when we look at the market profile and the buying profile. Alrighty. So why don't we go to 10-year yield that's reported? And what I'm looking at it, why don't we just flash the 10-year yield up here? Where are we at 10-year yield? Like I said, it should rise a little bit. And it has. It's whoop, boop, boop, rising up as I'm speaking here. Up 0.23%. Up 0.23%. So why don't we just get back to the dailies? Let's get back to our triple-headed monster by looking at the 10-year yield. All right, triple-headed monster coming to you. 10-year yield. All right, so what are we doing here? Downtrend. Boom. Swing high. Swing high. Boom. Now we're just in this little range. Okay, what are we going to do here? Are we going to break this support and possibly move down to 4.0 yield? We'll have to see. Market's waiting. You notice that we're just kind of in range here. Okay, in range here. Dollar. Look at that dollar. Dollar was making a move. Just trying to get away from this range that I put here, that we were in. It's holding out of that range. Okay, but we're getting some weakness today. That, all right, so everybody understands, the basket of the Dixie, the DXY, the dollar, is comprised of a bunch of currencies against it. Okay, the largest one is the euro. Second to that is the yen. So, if we look at the the euro, that should be rising today. Boom. Yep. Here we go. Getting rising of the euro. We should also get a rising yen. Not that much, because the dollar is the biggest weight. It's like 57% against it. It's okay. Now, let's look at the VIX. VIX is elevated here. Look, we close down here. We're up here, hitting the 50-day moving average, the 100-day moving average, 200-day moving average, all above us. We need to get above all that 15. We're going to get some fear in this market, because there's not much fear. Not much fear at all. All right. And that is your triple-headed monster. All right, now go to the main event. The main event, and that is our structure, our market profile. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Boom. We'll talk about structure. This is the roadmap. Remember, I do this live for you guys every day. Okay, it's live. It's not pre-done. I don't sit here and analyze it for hours before you get on. I do it live. Do my scenarios live. I've been doing this long enough to look at it and just boom, 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 can give my plan. All right. And why can I do this so quickly? Because of the market profile, volume profile, most traded prices of the week, supply and demand. That's what gives me my plans. All right. But I look at it for the first time with you guys. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's look at that rolling week profile. All right. So what do we got? Excess to the lows here. Then we got our most traded price of the week. Here's value area, that light shaded blue. Value area is 70% of the trade has happened there. All right. So, and there's our top. Now, I showed something last week I should have put in my video, but there's a thing called the slope of hope from Josh Schuler in Trade with Profile. He coined the phrase. I'm not sure if he coined it, but that's what he always used. It just means when participants are running out of steam, right? You tend to run back to value. All right. Now, let's look at the structure. Very important. If the most traded price is at 55.33, right here, okay, boom, the market is accepting prices lower. That's what this is telling you. I have the evidence right here. Market is accepting lower prices. See what I mean about the profile? I don't have to think. I don't have to do anything. It just shows me. All right, market's expecting. Now, price is right here. Okay, price is right there. So, let's look at this, right? What do we do Friday? So Friday opened here, and Friday was just kind of like not the best day. I ended up a tiny green, but when we really came into here, which stunk for me because we had news at 9:45 and news at 10 a.m. My plan was if they couldn't clean the single prints, this would be bullish, and it was. Went all the way up to here. Couldn't clean them fully. But 9:45 and 10 a.m. that's when it started moving, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stupid to take a risk because I don't want to get blown out of my position. So I just watched. I watched basically, you know. So that's what happened here. Now, what do we do? Single prints. I know I talk about them a lot. I'm probably gonna do a short on just single prints just so everybody understands because I know not a lot of people understand what they are, what they do. So now look, clean them, and I have to adjust my chart. So this is the only little bit of single prints left here. You still got single prints down here. All right, now. All right. Very balanced profile, by the way. All right, now another key, another tip I'm going to give you guys. Whenever you have a profile that's a very beautiful bell curve like that, and that's what happened when we hit this supply, usually means the auction's over, and usually mean you're going to go right back to the mean, and we did. We kind of went down here and pushed back up. So it's a little tip for you in the profile. That's why you use profile. Okay, you see things running out of steam. Now, there's some very important levels here. Very, very important. It's very easy to look at this now. Very, very simple. All right. Now, if we look at the overnight inventory, doesn't mean much to us. All right. Where's price? Inside Friday's range. That's not an edge where this price is. Okay. But 55.45, boom, is a weak high. Confluence high. Okay. That will either act as a breakout point or resistance. Okay. Then around 55.19, you have another weak low. So you see how nicely the overnight low, high and lows are playing very perfectly with Friday's highs and lows. Okay, that just means, guess what? I'm not gonna do nothing until those are touched. One of those are challenged, all right? Because then I gotta read the market to say, is this gonna be a balanced range where you fade the highs, you fade the lows? So basically, you sell at the highs, you buy at the lows until we break out, right? And nobody knows when we'll break out, but that's how you have to read the market. That's when you gain the skill of reading the market, okay? So, if we stay in here again, all that means is you build up energy, and eventually you're going to break out. Now, what could happen is this week is we could do one of these. Guess what that sets up? PCE. And then you break out. Okay. All right. So, very easy today. Very, very easy. All right. Very, very, very easy scenario. Now, let's see here. Let's get into the bullish scenario. So, as far as bullish scenario, all right, all you really care about, you got a demand zone here, is this area here. Let's see what we do. If the market comes down here, what do? Do you bust through that a little bit, clean the rest of these singles, and then that could be a bear trap, and then you higher low, and what are you going to do? Most likely go back here and test the weak highs. And then, what do? Do we hold and break out, or do we fall back? I don't know, but that's pretty much what I'm interested in. Okay, now, can you play the breakout? Yeah, you can. If you do this, boom. But I would like a big move and then a pullback and see if the market holds it, and maybe then. But that's not a favorite of mine at this point. Okay, especially with tech weak. Remember, tech is weak, XLK is weak, so that needs to start going. You can't have Nvidia falling like that. Okay. Conversely, shorts. You got supply up here. You got this kind of poor high right here that needs to be corrected. That's just like a double top. All right, but in market profile you call it a poor high. All right, they say that needs to be corrected. That just means you need to have excess put in. Okay, so let me get this a little thicker here. All right, so shorts. Oh, what was that about? Stepping. I was like, I just hit Mariah Carey here with my voice. Apologize for that. So you got 55.50. It's about 50% retracement of this large move down, and you have supply here. You got our weak high here, 55.45. Sellers need to defend this. Sellers need to defend it. So if we come over here, we hold, maybe even come in this demand, and you get some buyers here. You could even crack this weak high here. People think it could be a bull trap here, and you can go boop, lower high, lower high. You're going to test this most traded price, and you're probably going to test this weak low of 55.19. And again, we have single prints below it, and we have demand, but we have another patch of single prints. Whoop. So this breakout level has been decimated in the Nasdaq, but not in the SPY. All right, but however, if money stays to like today in financials, in healthcare, okay, it could have a tough time trying to just run right down there, okay? But if tech just goes nuts low today, yeah, we can. So if that happens, you bust through that demand zone, clean those singles, and I would think you would probably test the lows of that 6 June. I forget what date it was now. June 17th, there was a breakout. That's it. You can go back to those lows. That's really what I'm seeing. All right, pretty easy today. Pretty easy. I'm gonna be very patient today. It's Monday. We just had quad witching, so usually all that money came off the table, and today could start a new trend. That's how it works. All right, that's how that works. All right, so that was your ES scenarios. ES scenarios. Now we're gonna look at that Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq looks different. Okay, looks different. That's not what I just wanted to do. What I just did. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on a second, guys, while I just fix something that I just messed up. Okay, let's move on to the Nasdaq. Here we go. Let me get this. Let me make sure you. The structure right now looks very similar. However, it is weaker because look at this day of the breakout. You came right almost down to the lows. SPY has not done that. ES has not done that. That's why it's been weaker, relatively weaker, but the structure right here is the same a little bit. Okay? So, let's look at the structure together. This is the roadmap. Remember what I said, right? So, rolling profile. We have value area here, 70% of the trade. Why? Because most trader price of the week is lower. At exactly 20,000. Wow, that's amazing. Right? And where's price? Down here. That is bearish. Remember we said XLK is weak. So look at this. We're at the lows here. Very important. You're below the most traded price, right? Trying to stop you value lower, and it's doing it. Now you don't have equal highs like you do in the ES. See? There's the Friday high. Here's the overnight high. They're not equal like the ES because Nasdaq is weaker. All right, but you do have a weak low here, confluence low here. What price is that? We're looking at a 199.14, I believe. Right? That's the level the bulls have to defend. And they have. Here's that demand from the breakout, right? And it's been supportive right now. Every time we touch it, boop, pop out, pop out, pop out, pop out, right? That's why I have the demand level on my chart, right? Very important. Now, what do we have here? Same, different market, but it's weaker. So that makes me go, okay, let's think about this. XLK, 30-something, 31% of the market share of the S&P 500, which pretty much means that it's going to move the markets, okay? Now, if we go really quickly, I just want to reiterate this, and we get to my internals here, boom, and we look at this. I just want to make sure you guys understand this. These are the sectors from the opens, okay? Now, Infotech, 30.6% of the S&P 500. That's a very big weight. Financials is 12.9. Then you got healthcare at 12, okay? Then you got consumer discretionary at 9.9. Now, I want to make sure you understand one thing. This is Infotech. Now, Infotech doesn't have Google, Meta, Netflix, right? Doesn't have that in it. Doesn't have Tesla, and it doesn't have Amazon. That comes consumer discretionary. So just think about this. If this is, let's say, 31% of the S&P, add the Tesla and the Amazon to it, 10%. So now we're at 41% of the market. And then add Google, Meta, Netflix. That's another 10%. We're talking over 50% of the market moves with those stocks. Right? Understand what I'm saying? That's why these move the markets. Now, I can show you one more thing. Now, today I have the luxury that my daughter doesn't have to go to school. She's done. So I have a little extra time. All right, I have a little extra time. So what I'm going to do now is going to show you a couple things here. Let's go to it. Hold on. Did I really get rid of that? Oh, here we go. I want to show you guys just something. All right. Give me a sec here. So now that I mentioned that, hopefully you understand that. And part of my video, okay, in the shortfall of shorts, is that I can't cram everything I know into those videos. All right. But when XLK is weak off the open, it's just not a good sign. It's going to move the markets. Now let's look at this together. Boom. All right. Here is the weights of the S&P 500, the top weights. Number one, 7.29% of the SPY is Microsoft. All right, 6.79% is Nvidia. 6.52% is Apple. 3.77 is Amazon. 2.36 is Meta. Get the point? Alphabet, Google, Goog, and Google are 2.3, and so consider this 4 and change for Google. Then you got Berkshire Hathaway, and then it kind of falls off. Okay, it kind of falls off, but you get my point. All right, now look at the weights of the sectors like I just said. Information technology, financials, healthcare, consumer discretionary. You get what I'm saying? So these top 4, really now with communications, move the markets. Who gives a crap mostly about staples, energy, utilities, materials, real estate? It doesn't move the market. It doesn't matter. Real estate could do whatever it wants. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with it. It could be up 17%. It doesn't matter. It's not going to move the market. Okay? So, that is that. Another thing I want to show you guys is over here. It's probably not going to come out good. But this is S&P 500 and stocks above their 20-day moving average. 55% of the stocks. Let me see if I can get this lower here. Sorry, I apologize. That let me do something real quick that I can do it. I can't do this. Hold on. Let me duplicate this. Let me duplicate it for you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna do it live for you guys. Put it in a nice little package for you. Boom. All right. So let's look at this. 55% of the S&P is above the 20-day moving average. And I want to make sure you understand this. Okay, the market just moved lower, right? But this is why the overall breadth has improved a little bit. Look, stocks are moving above, they're moving up. The percentage of stocks are moving up above the 20-day moving average. Understand? Even though that's why tech is so heavily weighted, the market moved down, but financials, energy, healthcare a little bit, discretionary have moved up. Okay? So just think about that. We were just down here at only 20%. I just wanted to put that out there. All right? Now, I went off course. Now we're going to go back because this scenarios are not going to be much different. Right? I went off course. But I wanted to make sure you guys understood what I'm saying and give you perspective, how to look at the market. All right? It isn't all about just price action. It's just not. It's not how the market works. Okay? So, let's get into the scenarios. It's going to be very, very, very similar. Okay? It's going to be very, very, very similar. And it's pretty much carbon copied. Unless we break this week low here, then let's look at it. Okay, so we're going to go bull. And I don't know about this, right? Look at XLK. It's down 0.7. It's even weaker. All right? This week low. Right there. You got to defend that, bulls. And you got the bottom of this demand zone right here. All right? It's got to be defended. It's got to be. Now, when you look at these levels, okay, and I'd be what's the word? Susceptible to falling in love with the short here, because when you start out, you're not patient. You think big green, big red means I'm shorting. Like, oh my god, I got a short with the market. Now I sit back like an old man and kind of just play out. Let it play out. Let the market pull back. Let it set a lower high. Let me be able to set my risk and then read the market, analyze it if it really has legs to move higher. Is the market super weak? Is tech weak? Because if tech's not weak, we're not going lower. Okay, so that could be a bear trap. That's how you have to look at the inside of the market. Okay, the internals, like I'm telling you guys, the weights of the market, all that stuff. Think about it like inside your body, your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, your liver. How they're responding. Are they poor? You got one lung. You got a black lung. You got bad liver. You know what I mean? You're not gonna do too good. Okay. But let me explain something right here. Here's an analogy. Let's say tech is strong. Okay, and we're gonna use it inside of the body. Tech is strong, but energy, basic materials, utilities are weak. That is like your unbelievable shape, and your body's amazing, but you got a bunch of paper cuts on your arms that are not going to mean anything. Okay? But reverse it. When tech's weak, you can't breathe. You're having heart and chest pains, right? But maybe you look great on the outside. That doesn't mean anything. You got to go to the hospital. Okay? So, very important. I want to give that perspective, and I can be a little longer winded today because I don't have to take my daughter to the bus. All right? So, bulls, you got to defend and step up. All right? So, like I said, depending on what I see, this could be a bear trap. Okay? Depending on what I see. And there's a naked VPOC here. I want to explain that. That is the most traded price of a previous one a day that never got tested. Okay, so sometimes you bounce off those. So let's just say we do get tech strong. Whoop, you get lower high, lower high. Guess what? You're going to go to here. You're most likely going to test the other side here about 2085, 2073. Okay, that's what I'll be looking for. But tech, you better be strong. Semis, you better be ripping. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's kind of it. Now, what do you, if you go down lower? You do have a weak low here from the past, demand zone here. I don't know if I'm going to be like, let me just buy down here. I don't know. I would think I'd probably might not be as interested. Depends though. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at shorts. Now 2085 in this area here is supply. Okay, 50% retracement of this lower move. Sellers got to step in there if we get there. Now, this is a little different now. Okay, why? Now look at the Nasdaq. You got inventory here. That's your long activity to all this short, and you're down at the lows. Okay, you're down at the lows. So most people are net short in the overnight. People are short from Friday up here. Okay, that can cause a little bounce, but forget about that. If this market, okay, what could happen is you got to look at this level, 20,000. That's the first line of defense for the bears, I should say, and this is the big one. Okay, price is here. Now, listen to what I said. Let's say we do this. Boom, break the weak lows, but then we recover. Right? Let's say we move up and we challenge the most traded price of Friday and of the week. And we cannot establish acceptance above this level. We do this and then we go under it, hold, hold, hold. Guess what's happening? We're going to go lower, folks. Okay. Now, depending on how the internals are of the market, if XLK is weak, we're probably going lower. Now, what if the market does this and we go back of it and we hit this area here, and then we again try to move higher and get whipped back, lower high, lower high? Well, you're going to test this area and you're probably going to go back to here. Now, do you fall out of bed if after going high? Possibly. That's kind of what I'm looking at in the Nasdaq. Now remember, the Nasdaq's relatively weak. Okay, Nvidia right now is down almost 2%. Now think about it as well. If Nasdaq, Nvidia is down 2%, are people going to keep selling, 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 or going to go, well, this is my opportunity to buy that dip? Remember, we're at the previous week's highs. Previous week's highs. I kept saying lows before. Previous week's highs. So that could be a buy point, but who knows? I don't know. I can't predict. That's just what I'm seeing. Okay. Those are my scenarios. I hope you enjoyed it. I was a little long-winded today just because I could be. I had a luxury of not having to take my daughter to the bus. Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed that. All right. Hope you felt my passion for the markets. All right. Please subscribe, set an alert if you haven't already. All right. Please, I do this every day. And again, ask me questions. It's the best thing too. You can ask me a question. Hey, I don't know what the heck you mean by a weak low. Hey, I don't understand what you mean by inventories 100% net long or 100% I don't understand it. Why do you use the most traded price? Like with all those questions, all valid, right? I had them myself one day. So please give me a like, subscribe, help my channel. All right. Also follow me on X. I'm gonna add the TikTok and all that later. Follow me on X, Gonzo719. I believe Gonzo719 is also Instagram. However, give me a follow. Okay. And everybody, have a great week because I'm not here the rest of the week. Okay. I will come back the following week. All right. I will come back. All right. So wish everybody good luck. Stay patient. All right. Stay patient. That is not easy. Trust me. I know. So, all right, everybody. If I don't hear from me, maybe I'll try to do an update in the middle of the day, see what I'm seeing, or the morning. All right. All right, everybody. Take it easy, and I'll see everybody if I don't talk to you next week.